This is the Scott and Toddcast. Good stuff from WPLJ Scott and Todd in the morning.
All right, checking in this morning, a friend of the big show, a guy who has just happened to have sold over 10 million records and racked up 7 Grammy Awards.
Please welcome John Mayer to the broadcast.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Mayer. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Now, one of the things we know about you is you're always on Twitter. What is it about Twitter that fascinates you?
Well, I'm not always on Twitter. And, you know, it's such a new medium, such a new art form that I don't know what too much Twitter or what not enough Twitter is. So when people say you tweet too much, I don't even know what the normal measure of tweets are.
But let me give you an example of tweeting too much. We know what time you went to bed last night.
When I lay in bed, I get all the craziest stuff throughout the day that I didn't really entertain as a thought start to sort of percolate and come up, and I make myself laugh. But because there's like over 2 million people consuming every message that you send, it really sort of gets in your head because you ask yourself, well, is this really important? But Twitter's not important anyway.
Well, you know, the good thing about you is you don't care what you put on there. If it's dumb or it's complete twaddle, you don't care.
No, what's twaddle?
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. It's not important.
Right. Hey?
You react to funny stuff, like you react to tabloid stories about yourself on Twitter. And so you answer the questions.
Well, I don't do it that much. I only do it if it's funny. Look, nobody really cares at the end of the day if I'm upset about something. Mm-hmm. And I think I've learned to understand that. You know, like, nobody really cares if I have a problem with something or if I object to something. But if you can make it funny and make somebody laugh or offer something of interest, you know, like shooting down a silly tabloid story, it doesn't really interest anybody. But if I can just make up a whole bunch of euphemisms for having sex,
that's what it was. That's the last one I saw.
Then that's all it really is. You know, I never want somebody to feel bad for me or go like, oh, poor John wants to set the record straight.
No, that's
terrible. As long as I can provide some sort of a laugh or a snicker or a chuckle.
Now, that's called twaddle.
That's twaddle.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hey, tell us about this whole deal with Taylor Swift. You jumped up on stage with her at the Nokia Center.
You make it sound like I wasn't invited. I jumped up on stage.
And
I breached security
in Los Angeles.
I punched a giant bald man in the throat.
And you guys have become pretty close friends now, right?
I would not say close friends in the sense that, like, we are having picnics and running around. She came into the studio to sing on this song called Half of My Heart, which I'm so proud and happy that she wanted to do it. And she's fantastic. Taylor, you have to know, is one of these stars, and I'm sure you've met them, and they're very few and far between, but she's one of these stars that doesn't have anything to do with modern day technology or opportunity. Take American Idol out of the equation, take the internet out, take everything out, she would have been a star anyway. She's just this strange, in all the most beautiful ways, just doesn't really belong to this universe type person. She's just that good.
Yeah, there just seems to be something about her you can't resist, you know?
She's one of the hardest working people because I've produced people before and I've had people behind the microphone. And just so you know, like, when people come in to sing on something or you're asking somebody to, like, really aspire to this thing you hear in your head, you normally get about 2 or 3 chances before they give up. And there's something about Taylor, she just kept going, all right, cool. And I all of a sudden realized I didn't have to come up with new ways to say try it again. And I could just be like this, one more time. She'd go, cool.
Isn't that great?
Cool.
That is wonderful.
She was so engaged. And then I'm like, this woman's like ageless, right?
Aww.
And then I turn around at some point and I'm like, hey, what do you think? And she's just drawing. She's just scribbling this beautiful little picture like a child in the corner. And I was just like, it's just like an angel, it's like a pixie.
So you brought up the subject of your new album. It's called Battle Studies. It'll be in the stores November the 17th. It's your 4th studio album. Tell us about it. I know you put together a studio just for this album.
Yes, pretty much since March, just did nothing but, eat, breathe, and sleep a record, and really just sort of check back in with myself as a person and not a celebrity. And it's where my last record was sort of like a soul R&B, sort of a groove thing. This record is my love letter to sort of the California 70s, 60s, even 80s in some ways, like pop music.
Tell us about the first single.
The first single is a song called Who Says, and the song is such a joy to write and sing, and it was easy, and it feels wonderful to me, and I just knew it was supposed to be the first single. It's so traditional as an artist. When you hear someone's new single, it just comes out like a giant 2-story robot with fire coming out of it. You know, remember the old monster truck rally with the dinosaur made out of trucks?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's first single is supposed to sort of come out like a fire-breathing dragon. And I love the exact Sunday, and I just love the idea of my first song really sort of putting its arms around you instead of trying to slam you down on the ground, you know? It's just really about how did we get to this place where I'm second-guessing everything about me, and I'm also criticizing everything about you, and them, and them, and them, and them, and it's sort of like an indirect response to what's sort of become like this collateral damage of technology and blogs and stuff at the end of a decade.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like I've been hit over the head with something heavy listening to you talk about that record.
Wait, this is the first time I've ever answered that question. So I'm really just throwing everything at the wall and trying to find out what works.
So you're practicing, and whatever you like out of this interview, you're going to use it next time.
Exactly.
Want more of Scott and Todd? Check them out Monday through Saturday from 6 to 10 on 95.5 PLJ.